weather forecast from the Air Right Heating and Cooling Weather Center.
Tonight will be mainly cloudy with a passing shower and a low of 48. Tomorrow, expect partly sunny skies with a brief shower or two and a high of 56. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with a low of 41. Thursday will bring mostly cloudy and cool conditions with a shower in the area, reaching a high of 55. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
I love America. I love the Constitution. I love the First Amendment. I want to carry and all guns. I love property. And let me tell you something. If you care about your country, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
There are some sacred relationships on this planet. I believe they are between parents and kids specifically, but really mothers and kids. Mothers protect the babies from the moment of conception. And the good mothers always protect their babies, no matter what the mores of society are. Now, we've been living through some ridiculous times in this country. So ridiculous are they, that there is an entire group of moron people that want you to subject your children to adults with a certain mental incapacity who believe that they are of the other sex. And there are people in this country, in this society, that say you should subject your child to the idea of a schizophrenic in the bathroom with them, pretending to be of that sex.
The trial for a transgender bathroom case in Virginia is now at a standstill after a judge decided to dismiss the loitering charges against child sex offender Richard Cox. Cox is facing a slew of charges, including indecent exposure, indecent liberties with a child, and loitering in relation to entering female locker rooms across Arlington County.
That's just one case out of thousands and thousands of cases. And yet very few people actually said, I am not putting up with this. My next guest is one of the people who said, I am not putting up with this. And I should have known it. After all, I knew her whole family all of my life. I knew her when she was a little girl. You can take the little girl out of Melrose Park, but you can't take the Melrose Park out of the little girl. Nicole Georgas, formerly Crinch of the Bua family. How are you?
I am so good, Shaun. It's so good to be on your show. It's the biggest honor. Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. And I wanted to tell you how proud I am. And I know everybody from our neighborhood is proud of you. And I'll tell you this. And
the Melrosians.
That's right. Well, across the country, you've been told, we as a society over the last few years have been told, you can't use your own judgment in the most basic of realities. Mm-hmm. This is the most basic of realities. If you are a fracking man, you stay out of the little girl's room. Or in our neighborhood, this would never have existed our whole life. Nicole?
Street law.
Are you nuts?
Street justice.
And by the way, when I say this about you, people don't realize when I say this isn't the Melrose Park like I'm a part of, where we like to go out and beat you up and date your women. You are part of the elite of the elite. Your grandfather was a federal judge and one of the smartest people anybody ever knew. And you grew up with the principle of law. That's the beauty of growing up with a judge as a grandfather.
Yeah, and I have neighbors telling me to get out of my town. I have neighbors acting like who the hell is this person that just moved to my street? Why don't you just leave if you don't like it here so much?
A federal judge, your grandfather, a federal judge. Your father, prominent lawyer. Your mother, one of the best people in the world. God rest her soul. I miss her all the time.
I know. Me too.
I am
She's the best of the best.
So you were a victim of this, And you shortly after, tell the whole story. I know you've been down the road, but the people have to know. We've got people all over the country listening.
Yeah, so we're in litigation right now, so there's not a lot I could say. I mean, but I could say, we're currently in litigation. Kate's case is in both the U.S. District Court as well as the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. So just very shortly, my daughter attended middle school. She does not attend middle school anymore. She's currently homeschooled because of a situation that happened there. She was not able to access the bathroom anymore because of not being, because she is a girl, and there was there was not privacy that she was able to access anymore.
What was the name of the middle school? I forget. To remind me.
Allen B. Shepard Middle School in Deerfield.
Okay, Allen B. Shepard. And this was a prominent story at the time. This took off because...
and it's still going on to this day, and there are gender-neutral spaces in this bathroom. So.
And your argument, if I remember correctly, was why not have another third bathroom?
There is. And
there still was an issue where they wanted to force your daughter to be surrounded by a boy who believed himself to be a girl.
Yes, and there's just nothing more I really can say about it.
Well, yes. I played the clip of Virginia, because that's the latest. The first one was in grade school when it's the similar situation. He raped the girl, and rather than disclose it, the school board moved him to another school where he raped another girl. So this idea that this is some kind of unfounded,
it's happening all the time.
Yes,
these cases. It's happening all over the world. And the thing is, so what we're happening now is everyone will come up to us and say, well, I thought because of, because of the executive order that this is stopping. Well, no. In Illinois, there's the Human Rights Act. So even though you have Title IX, even though the executive order, because they have the Human Rights Act, they are going to say, well, that trumps federal law every day, which it doesn't. But that's Illinois right now.
So you start Moms for Liberty. How long ago?
We'll back this up a little bit. So back in 2023, if you want to talk about the little SPJC, which is our lovely, lovely situation that we're in, Moms for Liberty was deemed a hate group by them back in 2023. They were put on the hate map back then. I was not part of it back then. They were considered an activist targeted group back in 2023, bullying moms. They were targeted back then just for standing up for parental rights. This was, back in 2023, they started targeting all the moms that would show up at school board meetings just for parental rights. In 2024, SPLC expanded the hate map to just sometimes it was one or two moms that would come out to groups, calling them anti-government groups, which is absolutely insane. I mean, these are local moms, even like Shannon from Awake, branding moms, terrible anti-government.
Yes.
So how this all started happening was I was back online when I first spoke out. Online, immediate action bulletins started going out, calling me, Moms for Liberty is attending the Deerfield School District Board meeting, targeting a transgender middle school student. You need to show up, support trans youth, and it's a mom that is targeting them by a local group that Southern Poverty Law Center has sent out. I was one single mom going out to speak on behalf of my daughter. One mom, just one single person. They were busing in activists from the city.
Oh,
now this was not community members. These were people that were brought in from Oak Park, Berwyn. None of these people, like I would say 95% of them, were not from did not have children that went to our school.
So what were some of the things that you faced when this would happen? They would come in and they would bus in. And, I've heard the stories, but you and I have not talked in a very long time. I realized I wanted you to do very well. I don't think I've actually talked to you since your wedding. But I wanted you to take advantage and fight this off. I had known that you were personally the victim of slander and threats and all kinds of stuff.
They had published, so they put, Moms for Liberty, it said, urgent call to action. This is a local group from the city They put a bulletin out. It's called Trans Up Front. They put a bulletin out saying Moms for Liberty, an anti-LGBT hate group classified by Southern Poverty Law Center, has put a call for members to show up and overwhelm a school board meeting with their anti-trans rhetoric, demanding exclusive and discrimination against trans children in their school. Last month, we targeted a school board meeting because a parent there was targeting a transgender middle school child who was simply just trying to change their clothes for gym. The school district has been great in following state law access to gender-specific areas based on gender identity and allowing anyone who is uncomfortable in changing in the general locker room to have access to private stalls. Since then, this parent has gone on conservative media tour spreading increasingly ludicrous stories, even going so far as to file a police report against the trans child. Well, that's defamation. I never filed a police report ever against a trans child. So that's defamation. They spread this all over social media. Well, and said we need to show up, support, and counter the hateful rhetoric of Moms for Liberty.
Well, you know what I can't stand about this? When they slander people with this allegation, right? You're
LGBT,
right? How many people? And I'm serious when I say this. You and I grew up in the same place. There were lesbian and gay people that were our friends, that are our friends to this day.
Absolutely.
And bisexual. You take all of the actual history of us growing up in our communities, loving people, related to people who are gay, who are bisexual, and you throw that under the rug because of something so absurd that you as a mother are to let somebody who clearly is suffering from a mental illness, because here's the other side of the coin that never gets talked about. This isn't America's first merry-go-round. We've been around for a while. And the idea that we have to accommodate somebody of mental illness and subject our child at their most vulnerable moment, especially if it is a female, a girl. This goes against every instinct. Every instinct of a mother and father, of anybody decent. And the history proves that as societies have done this across the country and across the world, catastrophe has followed. So I'm wondering, now that the scandal breaks, that people knew for years, the Southern Poverty Law Center, my words, not yours, is a hate group itself, paying, because you and I don't know anybody in Melrose Park, they didn't like Italians, and they certainly didn't like Catholics. The Ku Klux Klan would have got their ass kicked on Hirsch, where I grew up, on Lake Street, where I grew up. They would have lasted 5 fracking minutes, just like the Latin Kings did. So the reality is, Nicole, I don't know anybody ever gave money to the KKK, but I know the Southern Poverty Law Group did. Big money.
They put flyers in my mailbox. I came home one day with flyers from them, with bumper stickers in my mailbox. I lost my job. So I reached out to this Trans Up Front and said, please, I'm going to give you the opportunity to correct this lie, or you're going to hear from our lawyers. They blocked me.
All right, so now you come from a long line of legal minds. Did you get some of these shysters on the case here? Are you going to be okay?
I mean, we're in the middle of the case right now. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Well, I'm going to keep fighting.
Well, listen, I wanted to take the opportunity, let things calm down, because I wanted you to get on all everything you could. But most importantly, you knew everybody, and I feel very comfortable speaking for the decent people in Melrose Park. I really do. Everybody is so proud of you defending your daughter, and I did not know.
I'm not going to do it. Who's going to do it? I have to.
Well, you did
children.
You did something that I think is the answer, and that is to get your kids out of these indoctrination camps. In homeschooling the kids, I think it is absolutely wonderful. But in the meantime, I know it's not easy to fight this off. So if we go to Moms for Liberty, I know that they need the help. Is that where we should go to support you?
Yeah, they're great. Moms for Liberty is great. I mean, they've been great. Shannon had a wake. If you're in DuPage County, that's where she is. But Moms for Liberty, they are the great. I don't know what I would do without them. They're the most unhateful group. They're loving women. They are the most wonderful people.
Yes.
And they love teachers too. They think we're that we hate the teachers, that we hate that we're book banners. No, we just, if you like the books that are inappropriate. If you want to buy an inappropriate, buy it for yourself. It shouldn't be paid with tax dollars.
I'm older than you. You were a little kid when I was in the neighborhood. But the idea that we should accept anybody reading pornography to a kid, I don't give a rip when it was. Can you imagine in our neighborhood some moron teacher pulling out a Penthouse and reading what? Are you out of your mind? That son of a gun would have never made it to his fracking car. And this idea, we got to let them talk about all kinds of nonsense. I tell you what, I'm glad I'm old, kid. I really am.
Yes, seriously. I remember when my mom found my brother's hidden. It was over 18, and my brother was 16. It was college girl hidden in her drawer. My mom was going to pass out.
Yeah.
And my dad looked at her. He goes, Lisa, are you happy? He's not gay. He's looking at, this is what he should be doing.
Yeah. Does he still have hair like Onassis? The kid had good hair, your brother.
No.
All right.
Well, I think it's short now.
Well, listen, I love that everything is going well. My best to your family. And if there's anything we could do to help or that you think people need to know or where to go, please let us know. Will you, Nicole?
Yeah, I will. I promise. Thank you, Shaun. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, beauty.
You take care.
You too.
Okay.
We'll be back with your calls and comments.
Call Shaun now. 312-642-5600.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match